And so today, what I will do is to, uh, in brief, talk about the concept of yoga and how the asanas and the pranayam they work through the body, through the breath, on the mind. So it is not just for the breath or the body, but for the mind as well. So let me just try to uh, talk about what yoga is. Now, unfortunately, what has happened is that yoga has been understood as just a form of a physical exercise. So, we know of yoga as as a form for what is the role of the asanas in containing these vrittis as I'm talking about. So now let us just try to examine our own experience. See, in the yogic philosophy, it is not just a mere pieces of instructions or a sermon. They are experiential. So these are an experiential science. Let us think about the situations when your mind is agitated. Now, when the mind is agitated, the breath is agitated, the body is agitated, right? So when there's a high stress and anxiety in the mind, see your breath becomes heavy, and in the body you can see the movement in the nerves. You'll have acidity in your abdomen, you'll have pain over here and there. So the mind, the disturbance in the mind gets transmitted to the disturbance in the body. What the yogis call this adi leading to vyadi. You see, these days the medical science is increasingly beginning to understand the relationship between the mind and the body, and this is something which the yogis knew several thousand years ago. Now, the converse is also true, and that's important. So, for example, right now, what I would just ask you all to do is to just close your eyes for a moment. Just close your eyes for a moment, sit comfortably, and just watch your breath. Just watch your breath as you inhale and as you exhale. Let your breath become subtle and subtle, gentle, watching all the sensations of the breath as they arise, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, know you breathe in. Breathing out, know you breathe out. Breathing in, know you breathe in. And breathing out, just know you breathe out. Om. Open the eyes gently. Okay. So now you would have noticed that when there's harmony in the breath, there'll be harmony in the body and there's harmony in the mind. So the stillness, the harmony in the body, in the breath leads to harmony in the mind. Now, this is what the yogis use, and this is what I call the science of the mind. And what does it mean? What it means is, see, those of us who have tried to meditate would know how difficult it is. For the moment you close your eyes, the intensity of the thoughts increases manifold. You get thoughts from left, right, and center. All those thoughts which you would have never even, and those thoughts would have never even occurred to you, they all start come rushing in. So it's difficult to meditate. Why? Because the mind has to be trained to meditate. See, the mind is not trained to meditate. So what this means is it is not so easy to meditate. Swami Vivekananda describes this very beautifully when he was talking about the science of yoga, Raj Yoga. What he said was, it is difficult to grapple with the mind. It is easier to grapple with the body, with the breath. So you're saying, in a sense, what he's saying is, instead of trying to work on the mind right away, you work on your body, work on your breath, your pran, to rein in the mind. Just spend a moment to contemplate on this, a very deep science. And now, those of you who have heard about Ashtanga Yoga, you see what Ashtanga Yoga is? Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. So the asanas literally prepare you for the ultimate dharana, concentration, dhyan, meditation, and samadhi. That's the whole progression of Ashtanga Yoga. So what we will do is we will just try to understand. We will not be doing the. I'll not be teaching any asana as such or pranayam. But what we look at is a simple conceptual nuances of the asana, the body and the breath, the pran, through which you energize your body and also calm the mind. So what we will do is just simply this. Very simple. We have done this all our lives. Keep your hands firmly on your knees, and with expansion, lift your arms up, bringing them close to your ears as much as possible. The palms facing uh, inside, and then you can just close your eyes, relinquishing any effort. That's thiram. And as you close your eyes, just be aware of all the sensations in your body. So, what I'll ask you to do is, in fact, you first just lift your arms as you do normally and bring it down. Just do it once, lift your arms up, stretch, hold it as you would do, normally do, and then just bring it down as a physical movement. And now we will add this awareness which I just talked about. Place your palms firmly on your knees, and we will lift the arms this time, but what I call with awareness. So, as I lift but to my side, be aware of the energy in the body, in your chest, in your arms, in your shoulders, as if your arms go up. Now hold the arm with complete stillness. Let there be no further movement. And as you hold, be aware of all the movements, sensations in your arms, in your shoulders, in your along your back. And when you have to bring your arms down, you can just join your palms above your head and bring your arms down very slowly and be aware of the energy as it descends within in your shoulders, in your chest, in your lungs. You can keep your eyes closed gently and then open your eyes slowly. Let us do it once again. Let me describe it in more detail. What, in essence, I'm trying to say is you make the effort as you lift your arms. And as you're lifting your arms, be aware of the energy flowing through your body in every cell as you go up. I call this horizontal expansion and vertical extension. Now, as you lift your arms, you can close your eyes, be completely still. This is called from movement to stillness. Relax your forehead, breathe gently, and as you're holding your arms, be aware of all the sensation in your palms, in your forearm, your shoulders, your chest, the ribs, the abdomen, and along your back, your vertebrae. Relax your forehead, breathe gently. Now, whenever you have to bring your arms down, please bring your palms together above the head and bring the arms down very, very gently. So slowly that there's hardly any movement. And be aware of the energy as it descends, as it moves down in your arms, in your shoulders, in your palms. Just keep your eyes closed for a few moments. Om. Sthiram Sukham Asanam. शरीर में स्थिरता, प्राण में स्थिरता, मन में शांति. So through the body, for the mind. Now let me just try to explain this. No, Sthiram Sukham Asanam, and uh, what does it mean? With so this is Sthiram Sukham Asanam is actually a sutra in Patanjali Yoga Sutra for defining the asana. You see, the asana, when we think of the asana, and as we have been taught about the asana, asana is about the movement we have known. It's just about the stretching. You stretch and you somehow come to that form. Either you are bending forward or bending laterally, whatever you're doing, you have to attain that form. You see, so what that would mean is stretching, right? But here, what Patanjali is saying, just notice this. He says, sthiram, talk about the stillness. And that's what we also talked about, to go into the asana and then be still. Sukham asanam. Now, if you look at the meaning of this sutra, if you look at many of these commentaries, you'll get a very simplistic definition of this. And that usually is, they would say that in any asana, you just stay there, you go into the asana and be comfortable in that asana, and that is asana. So किसी भी आसन में आप सुखपूर्वक स्थापित हो जाएं, किसी भी आसन में आप सुखपूर्वक हो जाएं, आ जाएं, वो आसन होता है. But please understand, it is in an entire philosophy, Yoga Sutras. So Patanjali will not be just writing something very so simple and so casual. Each sutra just contains 4 or 5 words. So what that means is each word has been chosen very, very carefully to define the deep essence of the teaching. And what this sthiram actually means, Patanjali gives that clue in the next sutra. And that sutra, unfortunately, not many people pay attention to. What that sutra is, Just listen to this carefully. Prayatna, Shathalya, Anant Samapatti Bhaya. Let us just try to explain. Let us just try to understand this. Prayatna means effort. So what we did, if you just recall, I lifted my arms with complete energy. This is called effort, prayatna. And then after I've attained the final state, don't just keep on moving. Shatalya. What shatalya means, relinquish any further movement, effort, stiram. And then what he says is something amazing. Ananta samapatti bhayam. Samapatti bhayam means to meditate, to bring together, to unite. And anant, what anant? We all know anant, infinity, infinitude. So what Patanjali is saying is you attain infinity, you attain your infinitude, the infinite nature, infinite bliss that you are in the asana. So it is that stillness, Theram, which Patanjali is talking about. And you would have noticed that when you practice in this form, effort, being aware of all the movements, being in that theorem, and as I hold the posture, being aware of the sensations in the entire body, and also releasing. Also, when I'm releasing, I'm aware. So this awareness coupled with theorem, it literally takes us to the state of meditation. So I call this meditation in motion or motion in meditation. So the final state of the asana, if we practice in this way and form, is meditation, not just a physical movement, so which heals the body and which also brings calmness to the mind. So this is the essence which I was just trying to explain. So what we'll do is let us do it once again with this knowledge, with this information. Prayatna, effort, Shatalya, still being aware, and then when we are releasing, also being aware of all the movements as we bring the arms down. Okay, so let's do it again. You can close your eyes, keep your back straight, relax your forehead, keep your palms firmly on your knees, drawing the energy from the palms, lift your shoulders, lift your chest. Now with acceleration, with energy, just imagine that you are standing or sitting on the top of a cliff. So what do? Energization with energization, horizontal expansion as you expand your arms horizontally, and vertical extension as you lift it up. Energize, lift completely. Now relinquish any further movement. Be still, be aware. And as you hold, you may keep your eyes closed. Be aware of all the sensations, the energy in your palms, in your forearm, in your elbows, your shoulder, your chest, the ribs on the side, the lungs, abdomen. Even see, just by lifting the arms, you can energize the whole body and along your back, your vertebrae, the shoulder blades. Om. Thiram, Sukham, Asanam. Stillness is not the lack of movement. In stillness, the awareness is not limited to the body, it's beyond the limited body, the finite mind. Now, to bring the arms down, bring the palms together, and let the palms come down very slowly, so slowly that there is hardly any movement. And be aware of the Sahasrara chakra, the top of the head, as the palms come down, the Ajna chakra between the eyebrows, the Vishuddhi chakra, the throat region, and down to the Anahata chakra. Just place the thumb on the sternum in line with the heart. That's the Anahata chakra. We will chant Om 3 times. And as you chant Om, just take your attention to the vibrations in the space within. Om. स्थिरम सुखम आसनम शरीर में स्थिरता श्वास में प्राण में स्थिरता मन में स्थिरता योग for the mind through the body. धीरे से आंखें खोल लें. ओम शांति. So you would have experienced that as we interweave the yogic philosophy into the practice of the asanas, you you attain that state of being in yoga. So yoga, जैसे हम what you were talking about, yoga is not something that you do, you stretch. Yoga is that state of being which you attain, and the yoga asanas are essentially meant for that. Of course, your body heals. In fact, it heals much better. You get much more flexibility if we do it with complete awareness. So, what we just did was a simple movement of the hands, which we would have done all our lives 30, 40, 50 years. We never noticed that. We never knew. We never noticed that just by the movement of the hands, I can energize the whole body and also bring calmness to the mind. So, see, that's the power of awareness. That's the essence of the yogic philosophy. Now, what we'll do is a very short breathing. Breathing. Now, I'll have a separate session on pranayam, but one thing which I actually want people to understand that, and most of us are actually surprised, was when we talk about pranayam, what we have learned about pranayam and what we are told, most of the people, and even in many of these institutions, they talk about pranayam as a breathing exercise, but that is far from truth. In fact, if you were to read the lecture of Swami Vivekananda, which he gave in US when he introduced Raj Yoga, Swamiji starts off by saying pranayam is not a breathing exercise. See, that's so surprising. And then he goes on to say it has very little to do with breath, if anything. Breath is one of the ways to get to the prana. And of course, breath is the grossest manifestation of the prana. So we will cover that. We will talk about that maybe in one of the sessions. But what we will do now is what I call uh, the breathing that we do, the deep breathing, what you call it, but with awareness, with complete awareness, just as we just practice this little this gentle, simple movement of hands, energizing with awareness. We'll just do that. You just have to close your eyes and just listen to my instructions. Just close your eyes gently. Sit with your back straight and enjoy this journey within. Start with exhaling out all the air. Empty out your lungs completely. Now, please start to take expansive breaths. What I mean by that is, as you're breathing in, take your attention to the lower part of the lungs, then to the middle, and then to the upper. Just as when you're filling water in a flask, the lower part of the flask fills first, then the middle, and then the upper. In the same manner as you're breathing in, consciously let the lower part of the lungs fill up first, then the middle, and then the upper. So the lower part is the abdominal region, the middle, the ribs, the intercostal region, and the top, the chest region. Now, similarly, when you're breathing out, don't just breathe out unconsciously. Take your attention as you exhale. It first happens from the upper part of the lungs, the chest region, then the middle, around the ribs, and then the abdominal region. So, breathing in from the bottom to the middle to the top, and breathing out in the opposite sequence. Now, gently let the body also expand with the breath and the lungs. So, as you breathe in expansively, the lungs expand first, downward, then the ribs horizontally, and the chest up vertically. Exhaling, relaxation in the breath and the body downward progressively. Please continue for some cycles, aware of every moment, of every movement. Now let's also gradually integrate the mind as well. So when you are inhaling, is expansion in the body, the breath, and the mind as well. The awareness also expands beyond the body. And when you exhale, the relaxation, harmonization in the body, the breath, the mind. Let's also hold the breath this time. So, just as you are aware of energization as you inhale, be completely aware of that stillness, the vastness as you hold the breath. And as you exhale, the harmonization, the dissolution of the body, breath, mind. Breathing in, energizing, expanding, holding with complete stillness, with no further movement. Exhale, harmonize, dissolve the body, breath, the mind. Please continue few cycles. Let's do this for 3 cycles more. Be aware of every moment, of every movement, and also the stillness. Om. Let's do one more final round. Inhale and expand as much as you can beyond the limited body, beyond the mind, holding with complete stillness, the vastness. And exhale so slowly that there is hardly any movement. Sthiram. Just keep the eyes closed. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti You are the bliss of the stillness, not the movements of the mind. Peace is not an emotion, a thought. It isn't even a state of the mind. Peace is what you are. शांति स्वरूप है हमारा. ओम लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु. ओम शांति शांति शांति. Thiram is not just the stillness in the body or the mind, it is that deep stillness that transcends the body, transcends the breath, the prana, and also transcends the mind. Sat Chit Anand. In a moment of stillness, we visit the eternity. Eternity is what we are, not the movements of the mind. Very gently become aware of the surroundings of the body. When you wish to open your eyes, open with harmony. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavad. Thank you. So,